So you want to edit all your fast-paced GoPro footage, but you have no idea how to. Well, in this video we'll introduce you to 2 free editors from GoPro that you can use both on mobile and on PC. First off, we'll talk you through Quick. This is a really impressive editor, mainly because it does pretty much all the work for you, all in little to no time at all, hence the name. It's only there for either 15, 30 or 60 second long edits and simply cuts the best parts out of your clips and automatically times it to the backing track. When you start up the program, you should have the option to either import from your camera or your computer. I always save my footage onto my hard drives, so I click and choose a folder and navigate to my footage. Select the clips you'd like to edit, then click open in create mode. Basically, you'll have your media ready on the left and your timeline below. Hovering your cursor over the media will play it through, so you can click on the parts you want to feature. You'll see these blue dots appear on the media, and Quick will start building your edit on the timeline below. Whilst building my edit, I realised it'd have to be longer than 30 seconds. Just above the timeline is a drop down. You can hit at any time to change the length. After changing it from 30 to 60 seconds, I now had space for 10 more clips. So now the edit is shaping up, I can browse the other music tracks to see which one works best. Click the track over to the left above the timeline, and you'll see the media window is now displaying music tracks. These top 10 are free with Quick, but there are loads more below if you have a cloud account with GoPro. Simply click the play button to the right of the tracks, and your edit will be previewed with the new music. I like the first track the most, so I'll add it by clicking Add to Video in the bottom right corner. Even though this app does practically everything for you, you can adapt your clips by clicking on the little pen button just below the trash button. So now I can slide this along and make sure I get the right part of the clip in the edit. You can also really easily color correct using these sliders. Exposure for brightness, vibrancy for color pop, warmth for white balancing, contrast and shadows. Next, you have sound controls to dip the music volume and change the source volume. Finally here you've got gauges. If GPS was turned on whilst you were riding, you can add these overlays that render in real time with your clip. You may not want these in your quick edit, but they're cool to check out and incredibly accurate. Once you've given some TLC to the clips that need it, you can hit apply and start shifting the clips in your timeline. I wanted these over the shoulder shots at the start, so just clicked, dragged, and Quick made sure it's all still cut to the beat and looking good. Quick will automatically add an outro to the edit, but you can remove this. Click the film strip button below the timeline and then choose no outro. Click save, name your edit, pop the kettle on while it exports, and you're done. Studio is a big step up from Quick, but it gives you a lot of creative control. Effectively, it's a 3-step process of preparing, editing, and exporting. The first step, when you open the editor up, is to import your GoPro footage to the View and Trim section. Once you have your media on the left, you can select and trim the clips you're going to be editing. The idea behind this is to cut out the unusable parts of your footage. For example, if you've left the GoPro recording on a chairlift, you can scrub through the clip and use the in and out markers on the left to set your parameters. As you go through your media, you can also flip footage and change a few settings like frame rates and quality. Now you have all your clips trimmed, you can go ahead and label the clips to help you in the next step. Hit convert and wait for the editor to do its thing and proceed to step 2. Now the layout is really simple and easy to use. You've got your trimmed and converted footage on the left, timeline to build your video, and adjustments or effects over on the right. Using the same in and out points on the first step, you can start cutting your footage and dragging it onto the timeline. But you're going to want to have music to edit too. Up on the top right you'll see a media button. Go ahead and click that and import a track. Then you can drag that track onto the timeline below the video. Now you can fine tune your clips and cut them to fit the music. This clip of Nico would look good slowed down, so I'll select the clip and move over to the adjustments on the right. I'll slide the controls to get the right speed and enable flux. Flux smooths out your footage to make it look that bit cooler. I can now play around with the white balance and image controls. For snowboarders and us skiers, this is really important to pay attention to when editing. All cameras sometimes struggle to adapt their colour and it can leave your footage looking too warm or too cold. To make sure you've got the right white balance, select the pipette and click on something white in the frame. It could be the snow or even Nick's goggles. It may take a little while to get the right image, but it's worth getting right. Much like Quick, you can change all the other aspects of the image just below. Studio also includes presets to play with, so experiment with what works with your edit. Titles are super easy to add in Studio. Click on the titles button in the top left and then use the adjustments on the right to create the titles. There is really no end to editing, but once you're happy, you can click on step 3 and export the video. Choose the save location and settings you're after, and you're done.